What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Now, this is going to be my second PvP video for hunters this season, utilizing the Mechaneers Tricksleeves, which allow us to have that boost to sidearms, especially when we are wounded. So this gameplay is just super wild to me because you can go invisible and absolutely dap people up with that Forerunner, and with the energy slot you have a couple different options. I was going with that Drang or heliocentric, so very fun little build, very different from what you see normally with strand, even stasis, a lot of solar hunters out there and those trip mines. So this thing very fun, and you can be a sneaky sidearm hunter. So starting us off with our exotic perk as well as our stats. For me, ideally for this build, you would go with 100 on mobility, 100 on your recovery, and 100 on your strength. This is because we're going to be going invisible with our dodge as well as our smoke bomb, plus recovery and crucible just feels easily the best to me. If you could get 50 on resilience, that stops a lot of the weird 2-taps that you can get, but really not that big of an issue because we're going to be invisible a lot of the time. Now we got spring-loaded mounting on the Mechaneers Tricksleeves, so it increases our sidearm airborne effectiveness, ready speed, and reload speed. While you are critically wounded, swapping to a sidearm reloads it and increases the damage. While this effect is active, sidearm final blows reload the weapon and extend the effect of the duration. So when you're going into a fight with double sidearms, no matter which one you switch to, it's going to reload itself and give itself that increased damage when you are that critically wounded, and then all the kills after that will just extend the duration, so you switch on and off of them, have them reload each other, and just mow down guardians. As for your mods on this, nothing too crazy, just because we are going into the Crucible, so it is important to use targeting mods on both of the weapons that you will be using most. For me, obviously, we had solar and kinetic in the Forerunner, as well as that Drang and heliocentric. Same thing down here for unflinching, kinetic, as well as solar. Now on our class item down here, we got outreach to get our melee back a little bit faster when we dodge, as well as distribution to give us back all of our class abilities, since we are going to be dodging very consistently. Now for here, I went with momentum transfer, so when we cause damage with our grenade, we get our smoke bomb back a little bit faster, as well as we get our class ability when we cause damage with that grenade. Since we're using the spike grenade, one of my personal favorites, easy to get a lot of ticks of damage to get both bolstering as well as momentum transfer to proc. Now when we move on to our artifact as well as our weapons, nothing really in the artifact is going to help us out too crazy much. You can get Flint Strike or Kindling Strike to proc inside of our Drang as well as our heliocentric in those sidearms, but it isn't too useful and too often that happens inside of the Crucible, so nothing too crazy on our artifact. More importantly, we have our weapons right here. Now like I said, went with the Forerunner, kept trying to get this as well as the Drang to come together, as well as this is my PvE version. Was trying it out just to see how it felt, waiting for the god roll inside of this. But Drang, obviously I love this thing. Moving target swash feels really good. With Icarus, you're getting like 100 in that airborne effectiveness, and then this thing, when you get those shots, you can 3-tap people with ease, sneaking around corners with that invisibility and just catching those guardians off guard is so much fun, and it makes this build a lot easier to use, and it just is a nice little change up, like I said, from the meta that is currently going on. More importantly than our artifact mods, we're going to have our class abilities, aspects, and fragments. So for me, using our marksman's dodge so we can reload and go invisible. We're also going to be using strafe lift, easily the best inside of the Crucible in my opinion. Super quick and send you up super high very fast. Now we're going to be using snare bomb for that invisibility as well as that spike grenade, because I love throwing these on the wall. Think they are are very, very powerful and very versatile. Plus, a lot of people aren't ready for them to be thrown onto ceilings, weird angles like that, so they are very effective. Now we're going to be using that Trapper's Ambush and Vanishing Executioner, so when we dodge, we go invisible, hence why we want that 100 mobility, and then Trapper's Ambush right here, so when we activate Quickfall, it gives us that nice dive in the air with our Snare Bomb, making us invisible as well as nearby allies, which is super, super nice. This allows us to get our entire team invisible very, very easily. When we move on to our 4 fragments, we got Echo of Dilation. While crouch, you sneak faster and gain that enhanced radar. Nice for the Crucible when you're trying to be sneaky with that invisibility, and it helps us to get 10 mobility, 10 for intellect. Echo of Persistence, that invisibility is going to last a little bit longer, with Echo of Remnants helping with that spike grenade be even longer on the wall. So like I said, people are definitely not ready for this to take some weird crazy angles as well, so having it even longer allows us to put out even more damage as well as proc those mods on our armor. Last but not least, picking up Void Breaches or Orbs of Power grants us Devour. Won't be too many Void Breaches around, but definitely Orbs of Power in those defeats, whether it be from your teammates, very, very nice to pick up a little Orb of Devour, especially inside of the Crucible. Not that many people are expecting it. You get your health back, you get a couple more defeats, and you just become an unstoppable weapon with this build. I think it is a very fun hunter build. Definitely been liking the off meta stuff, the Bombardier Stasis build that I put out not long ago, as well as this one. Very, very fun and switching it up for me, especially since we got a nice long season here. Got to switch up the meta a little bit. Plus, these got a little buff this season, so the nice damage of the Forerunner as well as both the Drang or Heliocentric is absolutely nasty inside of the Crucible with these Tricksleeves. So hunters, give this bad boy a try. Definitely, like I said, you're not going to be doing anything too crazy and let you push your mind to it. Like I said, open the box, let you get into these nice builds that aren't meta, and you will come to find that they are still very, very fun and very effective, doing just as well as others inside of the Crucible. So appreciate all that support to you guys, means a lot to me. Don't be afraid to like and subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so you don't miss out on any of these build as well as weapon guides. Had a nice long weapon week last week of just build after build after build of god rolls for these weapons from this season. So hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Like I said, One-Eye Jedi on all my socials, everything down in the description. So appreciate all y'all. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.